Okay. I believe we're live. I am checking out the volume, and I might want to raise that a little bit. Advanced properties, I'm going to make that about 8. Okay, let's test the volume now. Okay, well, it's better. I guess, yeah, I guess, okay. Maybe blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, thank you for being with us, whoever is here. I know this is another one of those sort of, just secret strike live streams where we don't announce it. And, just gonna do some stuff anyway. But bear with me while I adjust a little stuff here. In the meantime, it's good to see you here, Steve and Clown and Z3471. Hello, hello, hello. Clown P1SS, I guess. I don't know. So, what? How's that funny? Is that an inside joke?
Read the numbers like what?
Clown piss?
Yeah.
Ah! Okay, folks, we have Tabby here with us to think for me. Apparently. Let us know if the music is impeding on your ability to hear us. I'm gonna move the microphone a little bit. And we're going to talk about stuff today. Let's see here. Now, where did I want to start? Well, first of all, let me read the chat. Oh, yeah, okay. I want to start with that. Basically, clown piss, yeah.
Sounds sugary.
Sounds sugary.
Sorry.
They probably have
it.
a lot of cotton candy at the circus, so. So how's the volume, everybody? How's the volume mixing? Can you hear Tabitha? Tabitha, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
And can you hear me, or is the music too loud, or can you not hear the music at all? This, by the way, is not my music. It's there's credits for it in the description. I forget right now what they're called. Damn it. Horrible memory. Oh, the kitty cat. Who wants to say hi? Hold on, let me get the kitty cat. Greetings, Tabby, says Steve Bishop. Let me get my kitty cat. Say hi, kitty cat. Say hi, Shy. Let's see if I can get my cat to say hi. Alright, so everybody knows about, well, I'm assuming everybody knows about some of the bullshit that's going on at the southern border. A lot of it has been going on for quite some time, but of course things have heated up, and then we have all of a sudden the Supreme Court decision, and then it just seems funny how nobody's ever actually talking about, well, why did the Supreme Court rule that way? What were their opinions? Tabby and we decided to look into it yesterday. They didn't release any opinions.
Of course not.
Yeah, and any thoughts on about why that is, Tabby?
Because they're corrupt assholes who basically decided in a loophole decision that they don't want to explain their fucking unjust decision making to the people. So they basically they said, fuck the people, the federal government's our big daddy, and since they're giving us our money, we can't make daddy unhappy or anything. So we're just gonna give them the right to fucking tell Texas to go fuck themselves. No! You do not own Texas! You don't own anything out of the fucking District of Columbia, you fucking numbnuts! You only own that little bit of turf. And in fact, the reason we know you only own that little bit is because that's the only part that is not American territory. It's the District of Columbia.
Yeah.
Fucking different. It's the only thing
yes.
you have fucking you get to fucking say what happens to. It's the only thing you actually get to say over. The rest of us get to say over our homes, our turf, our fucking states, and you can go fuck yourselves for thinking that you're gonna take the position of a goddamn king. Remember what we do to them when they fuck with us when I say my next words, you asshole. If you are gonna take the position of a fucking king and lord over our lands as if they are your fucking lands, you cunt, we are gonna have a fucking revolution. And if Texas wants to kick it off, my state has already joined in. And guess who's gonna be fucking toting a gun up front? Fuck you, yes me. You fucking asshole. I hate him so much I can't talk. I hate him so much he makes my tongue tied. I fucking hate that goddamn cheating piece of shit. How dare you think that you can go to Texas and say what the fuck they do with their border?
Yeah.
Their border. You won't let people into D.C. You won't let anybody near the fucking district whenever you deem it fucking necessary. Well, Texas has done the same goddamn thing, and they have deemed it necessary to stop your illegal activity at the fucking border. Asshole! I fucking hate Biden. I really hope that he would fall down a flight of stairs and no one stop him! Piece of shit! How fucking dare you think, oh, well, I'm just gonna piss all over this and it's mine now. No! You are not a king. You are not a god. You did not create this country. In fact, as history fucking clearly depicts as far as your record, Biden, you've only been a detriment to this country since day one. Since the moment of your fucking conception, you, your family, your bloodline has been nothing but a pestilence to this country. So fuck you! Asshole! You have no right to speak to any of us. You have no right to fucking deem that you own shit. You have no right other than to dig a hole and bury yourself up to your eyeballs. That is the only fucking right you should fucking deem yourself capable of. Because we fucking hate you. You cheating worm. You pedophilic old fucking sock.
Yeah. Now, I've been saying this since at least, well, I don't know, 2009, 10 or whatever, that I think eventually the United States will break up into regional nations.
It should at this point. It's the only way to
Not
get
necessarily two, but regional nations. And not necessarily all of them in the same geographical place. Just like, there is territories of the United States that are out there in the, Hawaii is a state, and it's out there. And so, I think California and then the eastern coastal cities of the commie coastal cities of Washington State and Oregon State and California, not all of California, will end up being, but anyway, I don't want to get too into that, but because I don't really have a point there. My point, though, however, of this video is that, look, I really am quick to fight. I am really quick to confront that. Sometimes I'm a little bit like, if you guys know in Casino, the scene where the Napoleon maybe at this part of it. I'm not the tallest guy, but the Napoleon complex guy, Nicholas Santorum. He sees that somebody is giving his friend a hard time, and he just goes right to a number 10 and just goes right after the guy. He doesn't give a shit. And they say that, and if you go after him, you better make sure you kill him, because if you don't, he'll come back and kill you, and he'll just keep coming back until one of you is dead.
Sounds fair.
Tabby can attest that I'm sort of like that, but I'm also the kind of guy who, if I knock somebody on their ass, I do feel bad, and I pick them up and I say, okay, now I'm sorry I had to do that. Did you learn something?
Please tell me you did, because you don't want to do it again.
Right, and so, part of my brain is just like, let's do this, let's fucking do this, But also part of my brain is also aware that we're probably being manipulated, and that is the point of my video here. I am not saying I'm correct about this, but my instinct is telling me that we are being manipulated. Yes, there are lots of people who really do want to fight all right-wingers, middle American types, and say, why can't we just drop, atom bombs on Jethro and all them southern states and them midwestern states? Who needs all them red states anyway?
Well, you want to have corn, don't you?
Right.
You want to eat.
But there's a lot of animosity and stuff like that. But now, think about this. When it comes to what the federal government is doing down in Texas, in terms of, the Texas National Guard comes in, puts the barbed wire back, or prevents the feds from, removing the barbed wire, however it is, right? That stuff right there, okay? According to multiple sources, a vast majority of Americans, left and right, are against what the Biden federal
because they know it's not
doing. Yeah,
they know it's not right. They're not
right. So they want us to think that we're basically like, oh, it's 50-50, it's one side of America versus another side of America, and we're going to pick up our guns and fight each other, and blah, 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 blah. And what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to encourage people to not ignore, the college-age idiots and all that, are there, but are amplified on social media. And think more in terms of reality. The numbers supposedly show that basically America is like, what the fuck, federal government, are you doing?
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Right, and so maybe this really isn't so much a matter of a civil war as a matter of, well, what I think is going on, and what has been going on, is that the federal government has been occupied by a foreign hostile enemy. Ever since President Biden has been put in office, I do not think we have a legitimate federal government right now. I think it's been all pretend, and 0 something or other. Citizens United case. It ruled there was a law that's passed that basically says that when it comes to campaigns, that secret, totally anonymous entities, so corporations, Saudi Arabia, the CCP,
can buy a presidency.
enemy, presidency or others, they can donate unlimited funds, number one. Number two, in secret, the amount. And number three, in secret, the source. So there is absolutely nothing whatsoever from, say, I don't know, Russia, Ukraine, the CCP, anybody. What's the one that you named? Saudi Arabia. Whatever. Donating, secret money and saying, look, we're going to give you this many, 1 billion, but you got to do X, Y, Z. Now, I don't know. It tends to be the simplest explanation for anything, tends to be the right explanation for anything. And at this point, it doesn't really make sense for the Biden administration to keep doing this when it's generating such massive unpopular reaction to it. It's not helping him. It's not helping the Democrat Party. It's not going to help anybody that he hopes to groom for the presidency. It's probably going to be Michelle Obama. It doesn't quite make sense unless there's something, other factors going on. But anyway, let's check out this for a moment. I'm going to mute the mic and play something here. I want to remind everybody of this. And Cenk Uygur, his last name is spelled this way, but apparently pronounced differently. But Uygur, whatever. He mentioned that he is related to these people. I think this is interesting. But okay, I think I should mute the mic here, and then I'm going to play this video, folks. Enjoy. And there's a point for me to play this. It'll be a couple minutes. My throat hurts. I need a cough drop, but I wanted to play this anyway. It's half the point of me doing this, but check this out. Here's something that I've been thinking I should deal with, but I've been avoiding doing so for quite a while because I just feel so strongly about this that I... Well, folks, here's something that I've been thinking I should deal with, but I've been avoiding doing so for quite a while because I just feel so strongly about this that I just didn't want to deal with it. Here we go.
Chinese leaders, if you know anything about Chinese history, It has always been the time when China has been victimized by the outer world is when they haven't been unified at home. So the central, to vastly overstated, the central principle of Xi Jinping is that there must be a united, tightly controlled China. And he uses his rationale for the things he does based on that. I point out to him, no American president can be sustained as a president if he doesn't reflect the values of the United States. And so the idea, I'm not going to speak out against what he's doing in Hong Kong, what he's doing with the Uyghurs in western mountains of China, and Taiwan trying to end the one China policy by making it forceful. I said, and by the way, he said he gets it. Culturally, there are different norms at each country, and their leaders are expected to follow.
All right, folks. Now, if you don't understand what the Uyghurs are and what he's trying to say there, he's trying to say that the Uyghurs are trying to undermine the unity of China and that it is a cultural norm, therefore, to do what China or what the CCP is doing to the Uyghurs. These are Muslims. It's a certain ethnic group. They tend to be Muslims inside the border of China. And they have been harvested for their organs, sent off to concentration camps. There's even footage, I have it on my channel, of what seems to be the Chinese government rounding them up, putting them on trains, etc., having them in handcuffs and, you know, all lined up ready to be shipped off like cattle. These are horrible things. President Biden, if you don't understand what he's saying it is okay what China is doing to those people. They're bad anyway, and China's the victim there. And President Biden said he will not speak out against that. He also said, what he also won't speak out against, Hong Kong wants independence. They want to be their own nation. And they've been reabsorbed, or they've been absorbed into the CCP. If you folks remember, for a while, they were looking to people in America and sort of showing solidarity with and emulating, say, things like the Pepe meme, more libertarian ideas and memes. Anyway, Joe Biden, he's saying, and by the way, he said, well, you know, a president has to reflect the values of the nation and blah, blah, blah. Well, you're not. You don't. Okay? By saying that you're okay with the slavery and the concentration camps and the rape and the organ harvesting, and saying that you will not speak out against that or against the treatment of Hong Kong, you know, even before you said those things, you did not reflect the values of America. So don't give me that bullshit. But you certainly do not, having said those words. Okay. Keep in mind, folks, he's talking about not just the a treatment of not just a religious group. This is an ethnic group, too. Okay? Not all Muslims are of a certain ethnic group. Most Muslims are not Middle Eastern. There's a particular ethnic group called the Uyghurs, and they tend to be Muslim. So this is ethnic cleansing.
Mm-hmm. And Biden's cool with it.
And we're supposed to be okay with President Biden being okay with that.
Yeah.
No. No, no, no. And need I even say the words, imagine if Trump was such a disgusting human being that he would utter those words. Imagine the reaction. So basically the point of me making this video is I just want to be on record saying loud and proud that I totally denounce ethically and morally President Biden's words and his stances on that. He can go to hell. And if there is one, he will.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but now, I really loathe to say the following, but need I remind everybody, as I've said in one of my earlier videos, because of the Supreme Court's decision on the Citizens United case, it is perfectly legal for candidates to accept money, even unlimited sums of money, from sources that they can keep totally secret and that can be foreign. Yeah. In other words, there is absolutely nothing to stop the CCP, for example, from funding Joe Biden's campaign, and there is no law whatsoever that says that needs to be made public at all. So, that leads me to my point. What are the chances that Biden would have said that, what he said about the Chinese government, voluntarily. Like, in other words, what are the chances that Biden just on his own accord decided to take that position and to say those words?
No, he got paid.
Okay? There is no way that you say something that you know is going to hurt you that bad unless you have to. And so, first of all, what do you guys think about what we said in that video? That's the end of that video. And so there you go. I mean, that didn't give him any popularity in America at all among voters. I would bet my left arm. I mean, it's not something that even, far leftists are going to be like, yay, I want to vote for him because of what he said there. That's just an embarrassment, but he said it. So that's that. I mean, that really is a real strong indication that he's beholden to say that he had to say that he owed it. He owed it to say, he owed somebody. I guess, gee, I wonder who. Not exactly the Uyghurs. It's not like the Uyghurs gave him a bunch of money, said, now go up there and make an excuse for our genocide. No, I think maybe the CCP. Maybe he was beholden to the CCP, which is why he would say such a thing, even though he's got to know it hurts him. Now, what's been going on, that hurts him too. So check it out. This is from yesterday. Today we are live streaming on the 25th, I believe. Yeah. 25th of January 24. The Economist from yesterday, January 24th. Headline: America's border crisis in 10 charts. How did we get here? Let's see here. The crisis along America's southern border is a political liability for Joe Biden. That's what I'm just saying. That's my point. Polling suggests that just 27% of Americans approve of the president's handling of immigration. More than twice as many say they trust Donald Trump. Okay, again, only 27%, according to, this poll, if we could believe it. However, Styx Hexenhammer is a good aggregate person for that. Maybe he's done a video. But anyway, the Economist here is saying 27%, according to some source, of Americans only approve of Biden thing. Twice as many say they trust Donald Trump. So what is that? That's 54%. They're saying approve of Donald Trump's handling of immigration. More than twice as many say, they don't. Okay, more than that. So more than 54%. So a majority. His likely challenge in November's election, Donald Trump's. Okay, so let me read that a little bit better. The crisis along America's southern border is a political liability for Joe Biden. Polling suggests that just 27% of Americans approve of, I'm going to say, residents' handling of immigration. More than twice as many say they trust Donald Trump, his likely challenger in November's election. Increased migration is not all down to policymaking in Washington, D.C., but our 10 charts below show how the problem has worsened over recent administrations. Now, the rest of this is not necessarily about illegal immigration, but look at this chart right here. Check this out, Tabby. Look at this graph. These are, let's see here. This is illegal immigration, monthly encounters at the southwest border. So, like, in frequency of illegal immigration according to their parameters. And you can see, I forget what that spike was when they, what did they do? They somehow they did something where they got in, they started cutting the buoys out of the water or something like that, or cutting open the fences, and that happened for a little while. So that's probably what that spike is. But look at Biden. Damn. Wow. All right. And shit. But anyway, lots more in this article, for all this in the description, but not all this addresses my point here. Now, Center for Immigration Studies. Immigration tops voters concerns in latest poll as approval of president's handling plummets. And this is from January 23rd, so just 2 days ago. Subtitle or byline: Biden drawing congressional Republicans into a trap to share voters' ire. This is by Andrew R. And what's the source? Center for Immigration Studies, low immigration, pro-immigration. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I mean, look, nothing wrong with good immigration. Legal, right? So, you know, low if we need a low number. There are times, you know, there has been times in the United States where we really needed a lot of workers. And that's the thing. That's what's going on here. And it's not for our benefit. When I say we, I mean we, the American people. I think one of the main reasons why this is going on, there's a lot of factors going on, and one of the not so sick and deprived reasons is still bad, is that they want to do that thing where they get people to accept illegally low pay for jobs rather than paying minimum wage or more for American citizens to do the same work. It's been going on forever, but there you go. It's been going on forever, but now it seems, you know. But of course, there's a lot more nefarious stuff going on. There's human trafficking. We know this. Now it's been really well documented at this point. People are coming out and saying it, and just whistleblowing all over the place. So they go on to say here, again, this is from a couple days ago. Let me get this ad out of the way if I can. So again, okay. For the first time in my recollection, immigration, quote unquote, now tops the list of the most important issues facing the country today, in the opinion of voters, jumping 7 points in a month and overtaking, quote unquote, inflation, according to the latest Harvard and Harris poll. President Biden has finally been forced to face reality about what's happening at the southwest border, but instead of using his authority to end the crisis, he's attempting to convince congressional Republicans to share the blame. That poll was performed for Harvard University Center for American Political Studies by survey outfits, the Harris poll and Harris X, between January 17th and 18th, and involves 2,346 registered voters. Quote, what would you say are the most important issues facing the country today? Unquote. Respondents were asked. Quote, what would you say are the most important issues facing the country today? Unquote. And I'm not sure if that's a typo. And the results are nothing short of astounding. More than 1 in 3, 35% of those polled, identified immigration as among those most important issues. A 7-point jump, as they said earlier, and etc. So let's see, not all the respondents, I'm going to skip a little bit, chose immigration, and half of Republicans, 50%, except for a heavy partisan skew on the question, okay, half Republicans, 50%, said immigration is among the most important, and 36 among independents, and 18% among registered Democrats, but still adding up to quite a lot. All right. Biden approval rating, they go into and stuff like that. Biden's White House remarks and stuff like that. Now there's, I can tell that I can't really do this live stream for too long because it's hurting my voice, but I do want to go into a few things. Now, let's go into probably Texas Governor Greg Abbott here, okay? Now, again, if I believe I'm correct on saying this now, for some time, certain spots along the Texas border, Texas has, you know, Donald Trump built a wall. He never completed it, but he did a lot. And then, you know, other measures taken by the government of Texas to put up safe buoys in the water, and barbed wire and stuff like that, and guards and all that. And then all of a sudden you get Biden and the federal government coming in and doing all sorts of things to thwart those efforts to stop the people from flooding in. And so therefore they flood in. And they're not just flooding. These are not just Mexican families. These are mostly young, fighting age males. Many not from Mexico. Many not even from this hemisphere. You have any comment on that, by the way, Tabby? About the I mean, they're just flooding in the southern border of Mexico and just being taken right up to Texas, and Mexico's like, get out. wherever you're from. But where are they from? And are they families? I mean, yes, some. Of course, you're going to see those in left-wing media, and it's horrible, right? Of course.
Most of them are fake families. You actually can rent a child to help get you across the border. You rent it from some fucking asshole on the other side of the border who sells their children for more than just crossing the border. Right? The very fact that you have leftists going, you need to give those children back to them. No, actually, those children should probably be put in protective custody for a very long time. Because their life is essentially abuse and bullshit. So them getting a nice room, some, stuffed animals, clean clothes, a bath, and no one touching them inappropriately is somehow a bad thing to the left. And they want them to go right back. You have to give them back right now. How dare you separate children from their parents? When we put somebody in prison, are we not separating them from their children?
And how do you know they are their parents?
You.
How do you know they are their parents?
They don't.
Which is part of Tabby's point.
They don't. And more than 50% of the time, they're not. You know how many kids get separated and then never claimed? There's a shitload of them that don't get claimed. You know why? Because the person bringing them across wasn't their family. Had no physical ties to them and can't go get them. And their family, not giving a shit about them, isn't gonna say, yeah, we rented our kid out. Can we have him back? So they just get left in limbo.
Yeah. It's so horrible.
You know? And it's like, you all can go fuck yourself for yelling, we need to give them back. No, we don't. In fact, they're probably safer with us than they would be in the custody of their actual parents, who sold them as a means to get sympathy and get these assholes who should not be in our country across a border. Fact. It's a fucking fact, you assholes. It's not a fantasy. It's not a suspicion. It's a goddamn fact.
Yeah, I haven't really given it too much thought. I mean, I'm open to counter arguments, but I kind of like the idea of, like, okay, children, they got crossed across the border. We're not sure if the adults who were with them are trafficking them or not.
Yeah.
However, they are innocent children, so like Tabby says, give them someplace safe and warm, where they can, be safe and warm, whatever, and maybe allow them to be citizens, but not that doesn't mean that the grown-up that happen to be with them go, none of that anchor stuff.
No, it's bullshit.
Unless it's, now if we're talking about, like, you can prove that this is the mother of this child and they went to the immigration center and they applied and all that. Yeah, nothing wrong with immigration. There's nothing wrong with immigration. We're talking about human trafficking. So.
But I'm going to put it to you this way, mommy dearest at the borders. If you think that floating your toddler across the goddamn river in the middle of winter and somehow crying for help when you start to drown is grounds for my feeling sympathy enough to help you get your baby across... No, you intended to kill your child. You were using it like a pool floaty. Don't think I feel sympathy for you at this moment. I don't. I just fucking don't. You had more than enough options to get help safely across the border. And you chose to try and take the back route because you know goddamn well you have no right to cross the border going the other way. You know you fucked up somehow and don't have the right to come across. That's the only reason you try a back route.
Yeah.
Because we literally make it easy for your asshole asses to get in here going through the front door.
Yeah, that's true.
So the fact that you're not choosing the front door says volumes about you. And then to know that you're purposely drowning your toddler in an attempt to use the back door makes you even more of a red fucking flag. And if your goddamn kid doesn't drown and you successfully get across the border, you should in no way be given permission to have custody of that child. On account of you just risked their life breaking the law to sneak into somebody's country through a back fucking door. So I don't want to hear any sympathy for the mommies using their toddlers as pool floaties. If their kid drowns, they murdered them. If their kid makes it, they're an unfit mother and the child should be taken away immediately and not given back. And if Mexico doesn't like it, then Mexico can stop handing out pamphlets teaching these mothers how to smuggle their child as a pool floaty across the fucking border. Because you know what? I used to live in a border town. I've seen the fucking flyers for myself. Hell, I've gone to a Mexican dentist in Mexico and seen the flyers at the dentist's office, printed by the government of fucking Mexico. So no sympathy given here, babies. None. I don't fucking care. All these decisions are being made purposely by these people, and the children are suffering. So if the mother makes it across after killing her toddler, she's a fucking murderer and should go up for fucking murder. Not be given a house, not be given sympathy, and not be given anything but handcuffs in a cell. And like I said, if the kid survives, same situation. Attempted murder on the mother's part, and taking the child into protective care because she's an unfit parent. Yep. Those are the only options. Only off this fucking, we need to feel bad for them. No, we don't. She is making a calculated decision to risk her child's life. That's fucked up.
Right, and these are all propagandistic.
No
after this move, the first move, where Abbott sent in the Texas National Guard to stop the feds from cutting the barbed wire, all right? As soon as that happened, propagandistic stuff like that was circulated. Some of it I called out myself on Twitter, the whole community notes thing, where I pointed out I saw this in 2016. I saw these images in 2016. And by the way, this one's supposed to be from Aleppo, which is on the other side of the planet. You know, they roll them out. And, you know, I'm not laughing at tragedy. I'm just laughing at they think they're going to get away with using the same image that they used almost a decade ago from another part of the world to manipulate people. Yep. All right. So, listen, if you really want to, if you really have compassion for children and all that, you're going to want to stop the human trafficking.
Yeah. And
so, therefore, you do not want these barbed wire. You don't want these passages to be opened up for human trafficking.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, let's. To go back through it, for quite a while, there's always people crossing the border. Texas does different efforts to stop them from happening. The federal government. When President Trump was still president, he built some of the wall, not all the wall, and etc. and blah blah blah. Biden gets in there. And then all of a sudden, they're flooding in, and it becomes more and more and more apparent that there's actual federal agencies actually actively doing things like cutting barbed wire and helping people out of the water and doing all sorts of stuff like that. Okay, videos, photos, blah blah blah, probably filtered out of I guess left-wing bubbles. I'm not really sure. I would imagine so because all those people deny it happens. But for people who are not in that bubble, it's just it's a very common thing. We've seen lots and lots of videos of it happening and examples of it happening. Anyway, so recently, how do I put this? Recently, the feds, I think, ramped it up and started cutting the wire more. I think it was, and then the Governor Abbott. What's that?
Abbott needs to electrify it.
Yeah, he needs to electrify.
That way, the next time they come
but
to shop
don't
tell anyone. Just do it.
Okay. But then I think it was in response to that Greg Abbott had the Texas National Guard ramp things up and basically block the feds from getting to the barbed wire. Then the Supreme Court ruled on, and this is something that I didn't really get specifically into exactly what it was, what point, what detail it was that they ruled upon, but the end result was that the Texas National Guard could not stop the feds from removing the barbed wire. But guess what? They did it anyway. I think I might have video of them doing it anyway, the Texas National Guard. That's not it. Well, we'll probably come across it in what we're going to go through, but they're doing it anyway. But now, I have not read this myself. Let's check this out. This is from Governor Greg Abbott, governor of Texas. By the way, I'm going to check the chat. Is the volume still good? Is the music too loud for me. Where am I? I want to be over here. Let me read the chat for a second. Oh my god, so many. Oh, Megaratsu, great to see you. Daniel, good to see you there. Oh, everybody. Die, Netta, die. Wow. Damn. Uyghur genocide is just being said to be used as an excuse. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the Uyghur thing. I really don't. But I do know this. What's important is that Biden made an excuse for it, whether or not it is what we think it is.
Yep.
Or what anybody thinks it is, you know. He made an excuse for... I mean, it was questioned to him, are you okay with the fact that this is going on? In other words, that they're being rounded up and shipped off.
He's good with genocide.
And he's good with that.
He's good with genocide. See, when it comes to Trump closing down an airport, that's racism and possible genocide. But when it comes to China actually committing genocide, that's okay.
Yeah, now you can argue that it isn't genocide. It might not actually have been genocide, but let's say there was no genocide, but Biden did make an excuse for, you know.
Yeah, see, when somebody helps you cheat in an election, yeah, you're kind of beholden to them. And have to look the other way when the world goes, your friend is literally murdering people because of their religion and ethnicity. Oh, it's okay, it's their culture. They're the victim. It's alright. Go look over there. Remember, we hate Trump.
Yeah. Trump's a fascist.
Yeah.
Trump's a Nazi, but it's okay to round up some people based on their ethnic group.
That's everything in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Somebody helps you cheat, and so you're helping them not look so bad, even though that just makes you look like a massive pile of dog shit.
Now, I want to be fair, though. I know that we're not actually arguing against anything that he is saying. I'm just saying that for anybody who would argue that they are not being genocided, you know, let's point out the actual point. Now, what Die Netta Die actually says, though, is Justin Turbo, I think the Uyghur genocide is just being said to be used as an excuse, like the Syrian gas. I think you mean the VX gas attack back in the 80s, maybe? Syrian gas. Mass detention does not mean genocide, and look at photos of U.S. prisons and compare. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they are being rounded up. So whatever that is, whatever's going on there, and whatever it is that Biden may or may not think is going on, the question being asked to him and what he's excusing is horrible.
Okay, hold on.
What?
Biden literally apologized to Japan for the internment camps that the American Japanese had to suffer during that wartime. He literally apologized for Hiroshima and all of the internment camps. So, ipso facto, he thinks it's wrong. So now that China's got internment camps, it's okay? Either way, Biden in one hand says, it's not okay. And on the other hand, as soon as it's China, it's okay, everyone. Like, no matter how you flip this coin, Biden is holding a double standard, and the double standard is in the favor of China, not in favor of the people being abused. Now, I'm not a fan of Muslims, so don't think I'm okay. No. I'm not literally a fan of that religion particularly. I'm a fan of humans not being mistreated for stupid, asinine reasons like that.
Yeah, Tabby and I, we're both very critical of the religion, especially in I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That was rude of me. Go ahead, baby.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't give a shit if you're a fucking Muslim. I give a fuck the moment your Muslimness becomes so important that all of my rights don't matter.
Right.
That the laws now must be manipulated. Once that occurs, I fucking hate your ass and I will make sure you know it. Till then, I don't give a shit. Right. You go be you, whatever, pray with your ass to the sky. I think that's kind of weird, but I don't really give a shit. Don't bring it to my door. Now I give a shit. Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah, and consider this.
You know, so
here's Tabby, somebody who has an axe to grind with the religion.
Not the humans, the religion.
The religion of Islam, and as do I. And we're both standing up for people who are not all, but pretty much all, of that religion.
Yeah. Based
on principle, which is something that just boggles the mind of some people, which boggles the mind of us.
Yeah,
but this is what matters. This is a principle. You know, these are people who something is being. This is wrong. You know, whether they're being, you know, shipped off, and I'm sure Dinetta Die would certainly agree that whatever it is, it's wrong. We can all agree on that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's wrong to forcibly round people up for no reason other than they're different and you don't like their politics.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, let's.
You know, and then there's the organ harvesting and the mass rapes and other things. But
now we don't know.
Let's not look at that.
But yeah, no,
which happened in the other internment camps here in America too. But let's not look at that.
Yeah.
Because Biden's not okay with the ones from America, but he's fully okay with the ones in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Biden.
Yeah.
You double standard holding little fucking hand puppet.
Now, I was telling Tabby, there was a time where I got very used to reading Supreme Court decisions and also lower court decisions and all that, and the wording and all that. And it could be excruciatingly boring, how these things work. But as far as what I understand, what is going on here is that the federal government, let me see if I remember this correctly, the federal government wanted a temporary, well, they were granted by the Supreme Court and they didn't call it an injunction. I think they called it a stay. But it's basically, they say, look, we don't know right now exactly how this falls constitutionally. It may take some time, so therefore, in the meantime, we have to rule on one side or the other. And because we are a constitutional republic, we as the Supreme Court should be erring on the side of caution, being the side of the people, not
the government.
Not the government, right? Thank you. And when we talk about people, we're talking about the U.S. The citizens.
Yeah.
Citizens.
Let me see if I can break
of
it
the United States of America. But let me complete my thought if you don't mind, because I think I'm gonna lose it. Shit. And okay, so yeah, I mean, what's going on is the Supreme Court's basically going, we don't know what exactly how we're gonna rule on this, but in the meantime, to err on the side of the caution, we think it's most constitutional for us to allow the federal government to continue to remove these barriers so that these people can come through. And I'm sorry, Tabby, you go ahead.
I was going to say, usually when it comes to a stay of motion, like when you're not allowed to do something, the courts usually almost always err on the side of the landowner.
Yeah.
Not the disputer, the landowner.
Yeah, not anymore though. Like that one
and if there's a dispute over the owner having the right of that land, then no one's allowed to do anything. And everything is supposed to stay as it is in the moment of the declaration. So the fact that the Supreme Court has gone, we're just going to let the federal government do what they want, shut up Texas, is an immense violation of the standard of this particular thing. Like, you are not supposed to be like, oh, well, we're just going to use this little loophole to let the federal government piss wherever it wants and say it's theirs. No. One, the barbed wire belongs to Texas. 2, the property the barbed wire sits on belongs to Texas. 3, the air around the barbed wire and the property is also belonging to Texas. You don't own shit over there. So any decree should have kept the federal government from moving on Texas soil. Against Texas property. Against the will of Texas citizens. Hell, against the will of every American citizen. So the Supreme Court has essentially declared that the American people cannot find justice within its doors. Thank you, Supreme Court, for finally telling the goddamn truth. We cannot trust you to dole out justice in our favor ever, because you have quite literally declared that the federal government is your pip daddy and you will be doing whatever that hand tells you to do. Because that's all this decree proved. That's all it fucking showed. That you will err on the side of the federals instead of the side of the people. So I hope you enjoy the war you assholes have created with that one fucking move. How dare you?
Yep.
But thank you for finally being honest instead of lying yet again.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's funny because I was searching yesterday. Tabby and I were. I'm like, I wonder what their opinions are.
They won't have one because they know they fucked up.
We found out that they didn't release any.
They won't.
It's not that they have to, it's just customary to do so. They don't always do so, but usually one on one side or more, and one or more on the other side will put out their opinions, and it's their rationale for why they ruled the way that they did. These in this case, they just didn't.
Because they don't know how to save this. You cannot save going against the American people on their soil. You guys own the District of Columbia. Nothing else. Nothing else. God damn it. Not a fucking blade of grass. Not an ounce of sand. Nothing outside of that district is yours to fucking decree shit over.
Yeah, now...
We allow you to sign papers. Get it right, assholes. You don't own a fucking thing here. You don't actually get to do a fucking thing that we don't give you the fucking privilege to do. You are our bitches, federal government. You need to be reminded that you are our bitches. You are our gophers, our lackeys, our fucking little cunts. You are in no fucking way our gods, our kings, our rulers, or anything like that. You are petulant little worms on our fucking hooks. And if you push us, we will fucking remind you of that. We will make you wiggle how we wish, worm. And thank you, Texas, for fucking kicking it off. About goddamn time.
Yeah, not only that, but many states are basically showing solidarity. So you have a majority, according to these polls, you have a majority of Americans polled, left and right, siding with Texas on this issue, basically siding with America's right to be a nation. And then you have more and more states. Maybe by, we'll get into this, because by now, I'm sure, since, I had the idea of doing this live stream, many more states have probably signed on. But Governor Abbott of Texas, and this is from January 24th, the afternoon. For us, that would be yesterday. All right. He tweets this. First, he writes in this tweet, "My statement on Texas is constitutional right to self-defense." Oh, I love this song. By the way, this music, by the way, is so 80s. It's not 80s, literally. It's retro stuff, and it is available for people to use for free as long as you give them credit, which I did and links to, I think, in the description. But check this out. This is what Abbott says. Oh, can I not make it bigger? Let's see here. How about if I do it this way? Here we go. I could do it this way then. Probably could have just done that. Okay. I feel like I'm in Knight Rider. It's that show about ninjas. No, it's American Ninja, Knight Rider, or something like that. Anyway, okay. From the state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott, January 24th, 2024. The federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states.
Yep.
The
no contract in existence at this point.
Right.
They null and voided it with their action.
Well, that's the thing, and it does say in the Constitution, I believe, or is it the Declaration, or both, that at a certain point, when the executive branch violates, or when the government violates its end of the bargain, well, then it automatically is no longer the government.
Yep. Because they only own the District of Columbia, the smallest blip on the entire fucking map. That's what they own. So when it comes down to it, when they piss us off and break our trust and null and void the contract we've all held with them, they're nothing. They are the smallest blip on the fucking map. And they did that because they're a bunch of seedy cunts that didn't want to have to deal with American laws within that small area. So now they get to do seedy shit in there. See how that works? That's why it's technically separate from American soil. It's really funny how they fucking negotiated that shit.
Yeah. And also Texas, by the way. Went back to college while in Texas, where I met my queen here, Tabby. And, yeehaw! I had to take Texas government, and it is different than any other
Yeah, it is.
state in the
Very
union.
distinct.
Other than DC, which is not, it's a district, right? Anyway, let's continue. Might as well back up to the first sentence. The federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. My comment, by the way, is that you don't need a civil war of a military kind. You don't need blood. You don't need revolution, because, as it says in our founding documents, if you have a government, or quote-unquote government, if you have an occupying force, basically, in the case of Biden, President Biden, that violates the Constitution, the rights of the people, it is automatically null and void. It is no longer the authority. It doesn't require any sort of blood. It doesn't require any of that. It's just, that's it. And it can be done painlessly, and I hope it does, and I hope no good people, no Americans, get hurt in any sort of upcoming conflict that may or may not result from this. But anyway, continuing, the federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. The executive branch of the United States has a constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting states, including immigration laws on the books right now. President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and has even violated them. Go, Governor Abbott. The result is that he has smashed records for illegal immigration. Despite having put on, let me put this down, it might be cut off. Despite having been put on notice in a series of letters, one of which I delivered to him by hand, President Biden has ignored Texas's demand that he perform his constitutional duties. Ping. President Biden has violated his oath to faithfully execute immigration laws enacted by Congress. Instead of prosecuting immigrants for the federal crime of illegal entry, President Biden has sent his lawyers into federal courts to sue Texas for taking action to secure the border. And if you've been paying attention, that's been going on pretty much his whole presidency so far. Residency. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking about college now. His whole residency. Okay. Second point. Ping. President Biden has instructed his agencies to ignore federal statutes that mandate the detention of illegal immigrants. The effect is to illegally allow their en masse parole into the United States. Ping. By wasting taxpayer dollars to tear open Texas's border security infrastructure, President Biden has enticed, and this is important, enticed illegal immigrants away from the 28 legal entry points along this state's southern border, bridges where nobody drowns, and into the dangerous waters of the Rio Grande.
Because he doesn't want them charted. You can't have populist destabilization if you know everybody coming in, now can you? Because then you can funnel out the fucking seedy assholes that are going to destabilize your populace.
Undocumented.
So, but if they come over in 20s, 30s, hundreds, and thousands over a border anonymously in giant hordes,
yeah,
get on buses and are shipped clean across the country to another spot. Who was it that you put on the bus? Where were they from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they have any skills, aspirations, anything? Were they child molesters, drug traffickers, human traffickers? No? You don't know? You have no fucking clue? Just 1,000 men put on buses and shipped off to Texas and other anonymous red states where you need to destabilize the population enough to fucking become communistic? Could that be it? Gotta get all those nice voting mules where you need them so that they can help you cheat by breaking into fucking boxes and stealing ballots, by having 200 ballots sent to their apartment and then filling it out as 200 different individual people. None of that. That wouldn't be why you wouldn't want them being charted. Not at all, of course, because I'm just being logical and therefore stupid and, conspiracy. Even though logic would detect or dictate that that's exactly what you're doing. Because that's exactly what happens every voting season. We see Guatemalans and people who are definitely very new to this country running around with crowbars and keys they shouldn't have, breaking into boxes and taking ballots selected just for one candidate and leaving only the ballots for the other candidate behind. Isn't that fucking weird? Gee. Wonder why that's happening. Ooh, how does that occur? In mass amounts. And aren't the Democrats afraid of losing all of their power at this point? Hell, Pelosi got kicked out of an office. That fucking bitch didn't think that had ever happened. She's still pissed off about it. Hell, I hope she goes to her grave going, they kicked me out of my fucking office. I really hope she does. Yeah. But in a drunk, lushy voice, where you can't really make it out, but you're giggling because you know what the fuck she said.
I hope they kicked me out of my office.
You kicked me out of my office. I was just keeping paperwork there and they kicked me out. I was gonna get drunk in there weekly, but they kicked me out. What am I gonna do? My secret floor safe is in there and no one would know that. I can't get to it. Shit. But I hope it eats her asshole for the remainder of her fucking decrepit years. Yeah. That she can't have that office. That somebody else is warming that seat. Because she got real pissed when fucking one of the J6 people went in there and took a picture sitting in her chair. Yeah. She damn near had a stroke. So now that some man is farting in her chair, I'm sure it is just killing her. Yeah. And that gives me such satisfaction. Right on. To know that that bitch has chafed ass and needs aloe vera for the fucking burn that puts on her. It just gives me so much glee to watch these people suffer in even the smallest amount. I am one of those assholes that when a politician this decrepit dies, I literally laugh and am joyful. So I'm like, thank God it's over. They're done. None of us have to worry about them anymore. Well, thank God they managed to kill themselves. Thank you.
If they're warmongers.
Yes.
If they're literal warmongers like Kissinger, yeah.
I could give a fuck. I'm actually happy you're gone, because now you can't hurt anyone
McCain
anymore.
McCain is another one.
Your ideas can't be fucking pestilence upon the planet. Ha 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 ha! And no one had to get in trouble for taking you out. So it's just like it works out for everybody. You're gone. Thank God. Is that morbid and kind of fucked up? Yes. Do I care? No. Why? Because these people do nothing but dehumanize all of us. So why should in their last fucking moments I give them any ounce of humanity? Why the fuck should I be the better person here? For my soul is good. You know why? Because I judge me. Not some invisible being, not the populace. I judge me.
Yeah, and
no
Tabby,
one else.
She is an amazing soul. She is a...
So I get to be a vengeful bitch if I want. Because no one judges me but me. And that's how it should be with every human being. Only you should get to judge you. Not some politician, not a king, not a queen. Once you're past the age of 18, not even your goddamn parents. Just you. Anyone judging you is acting like a fucking bully. So treat them like one. And they can go fuck themselves. But only you get to judge you.
Yes, but what if you're an asshole?
Well, I am an asshole.
No, I'm saying, what if you are a bad person? Then you need to be judged. Like, in other words,
then populations will judge you fairly on their own.
If you're a rapist or a murderer or something like that, well then, yeah,
the
you
law
need to
will
be
judge
judged,
you. That's different.
Right.
But if you're just a normal human being, don't let people guilt you into fucking servitude. You judge you. Oh, you can't feel that way because you can feel that way. Especially if that person was a detestable human being that made every minute of yours or somebody else's life hell. You can feel whatever the fuck you want. No one gets to tell you otherwise. And if they try, fuck them. You're not anyone's slave unless you choose to be. And that includes emotionally. And yes, that's semi-toxic, but I don't give a fuck. See? I only judge me.
Yeah.
It takes all the power away from the bullies of the planet, and they hate that shit. See, they want you to be judged by others because it gives them power to use a card over you. Like, oh, you can't think like that. It's morally wrong. Somebody's died. We should have respect in their last moments because they're gone. They're a soul gone. Yeah, but what did they do when they were here? Did they mass murder people? Because I'm sure as hell not going to shed a tear for Hitler. But I should shed one for Pelosi? Fuck no. I'm throwing a party. That bitch is going down in my fucking mental memory like Hitler. I'm gonna throw a party when she's no longer here. Fuck that cunt.
Yeah. Because I hate you.
I do. It's fine to hate so long as the person you're hating is fully justified to receive it. Meaning they kill people, they manipulate the world, and they don't give a fuck about stealing. Why would I extend any sympathy there? Why? Because it's human? Well, they should start acting like one. Sorry, rant over.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, not bad. Alright, so to continue with Governor Abbott's thing, so his 3 points there were, just to reiterate, President Biden violated his oath to faithfully execute the immigration laws enacted by Congress, instead of prosecuting immigrants for the federal crime of illegal entry. Should have put illegal immigrants. For the crime of illegal entry, President Biden has sent his lawyers into federal courts to sue Texas for taking actions to secure the border. Point 2. President Biden has instructed his agencies to ignore federal statutes that mandate the detention of illegal immigrants. The effect is to illegally allow their en masse patrol, is that how we get, en masse parole into the United States. And third point, by wasting taxpayer dollars to tear open Texas's border security infrastructure, President Biden has enticed illegal immigrants away from the 28 legal entry points along this state's southern border, bridges where nobody drowns, I like how he gets all snide there, and into the dangerous waters of the Rio Grande.
You know what? Abbott needs to suspend all federal tax collection within his state.
Yeah.
All of it. Texas is one of our biggest states. Actually, it's our biggest. Texas pulls in a lot of federal tax dollars. The federal government should not fuck with one of their cash cows. Because all they need to do is suspend the federal government's collection of any money from their state. Yes, the federal government's going to go, well, we're not going to give you any handouts. That's fine. We'll use the money we would give you to fix our shit here. I say he suspend it. Just don't give them any. Yeah? Fair's fair. You want to act like a big old bully? Well, I'll just take my piggy bank and go home. Little hard to fund your fucking war with no money. I think every state should suspend federal tax collection. Don't give the federal government a goddamn cent. Those assholes have more than enough money in their collective bank accounts to foot the federal government's bills for eons. So I don't want to hear, well, everything will collapse. No, well, because they can pay for it themselves. They want to act like they rule everything, well, then pay for everything. You want to act like you own it all, like you're the fucking god, like you're a motherfucking king, well then you goddamn pay for everything. We'll sit back and watch from our comfortable states as the District of Columbia fucking smolders and crumbles. We'll happily just sit back and watch your fucking micro blip of a fucking piece of map dissolve itself. And then we'll just go in, sweep away the carcasses that are you people, and take the property. On account of you are the smallest of them all. Even the soldiers that you say are federal government soldiers, actually they owe their allegiance to their families back home, not you. So if you push them hard enough, where the fuck do you think they're gonna go? They're gonna join up with the other people. Just like they did in the Civil War. You know, all those nice defectors and shit from both sides who didn't agree with anything, they just kind of swap over. It's gonna happen again. You all will not have the soldiers you think you have. Which is hilarious to me. They think they own their souls. But they're not still human beings. That's why they break them down and try and turn them into fucking killing machines so they won't question shit. It's like they still question shit. They can't help it. That's what the drill instructors are for, to keep them from reverting back to questioning shit. But they still question shit. They're human beings. You don't think they're gonna fucking see the writing on the wall and fucking start getting your asses instead? Oh, please. Oh, please, baby. Don't be so fucking ignorant to think that you've created a bunch of automatons incapable of human thought. Because you haven't. It's what PTSD is about. Because their brain can't forget the shit you made them do. Because they're humans. And human brains don't like doing that shit. So, there you go. Fuck with it and find out you would be kings. Fuck with us and find out. Thank goodness Texas has balls. And thank goodness the state we live in also has fucking balls. Because they've already joined. Sign their allegiance to what fucking Texas is doing. Thank goodness.
Yeah, now, let's move on to that. To continue with, and thank you for that, baby. I love you so much. She's my red Sonja, man. Alright, so Abbott continues with, under President Biden's lawless border policies, more than 6 million legal immigrants have crossed our southern border in just 3 years. That is more than the population of 33 different states in this country.
Yep, that's how you destabilize shit.
But keep in mind, though, however, they tend to vote blue upon arrival, and then the next generation doesn't.
Yeah, which is why they keep bringing in more.
Right.
They have to keep bringing in more. They can't help it because the children know better. They're like, fuck.
Okay, so continuing, though. This illegal refusal to protest the states has inflicted... Did I say that right? This illegal refusal to protect the states has inflicted unprecedented harm on the people all across the United States. James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and the other visionaries who wrote the United States Constitution foresaw that states should not be left to the mercy of a lawless president who does nothing to stop external threats like cartels smuggling millions of illegal immigrants across the border. That is why the framers included both Article 4, subsection 4, which promises that the federal government, quote, shall protect each state against invasion, unquote, and Article 1, subsection 10, clause 3, which acknowledges, quote, the state's sovereign interest in protecting their borders, unquote. Sorry about banging my guitar against the desk. Arizona versus United States, 567 U.S. 387 419 2012, Scalia, Justice dissenting. The failures of the Biden administration to fulfill the duties imposed by Article 4, subsection 4, has triggered Article 1, subsection 10, clause 3, which reserves to the state the right of self-defense.
Even against the federal government, assholes.
For these reasons, I have already declared an invasion under Article 1, subsection 10, clause 3 to invoke Texas's constitutional authority to defend and protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land and supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary. The Texas National Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and other Texas personnel are acting on that authority as well as state law to secure the Texas border. Signed, Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas. And there you go.
Good for him. Somebody who has a pair of nuts.
Indeed. And so, where is this gonna go, everybody? Yeah, of course. Let me get out of here. Wow, I really made that big. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat and see what you guys think here. First of all, make that small. Live streaming. Okay, wow, I gotta make that big. I need glasses, man. Omega Rats, Rosette, blah, blah. Angry Tabby is best Tabby, says Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Florida's Daniel J. Corrigan. Florida sent personnel and resources. Yeah, I forgot.
Good.
Forgot about that.
Hell yeah, Florida.
Yeah, Steve Bishop says the time's come to rise up and declare independence from out of control. See, now that's the thing. You got to be careful. Yeah, declare independence from an illegitimate government rather than saying, hey, let's have a civil war. You know.
But if they want to take it there, then we'll take it there.
Right, but it won't be, you know, don't let, that's what I'm saying is there are people who legitimately, innocently think, oh, we need a civil war because, like half of America are these purple-haired people who want to rape our kids in school, when that's not really the case. Those people do exist, for sure, but what I'm saying is it's really more of, it's not really American people that are the problem so much as the forces corrupting them.
It's the fucking government.
Yeah, it's the government, except for certain people.
Like, no, the blue-haired fucking freaks of the planet are just an example of the corruption of the government. Because
and a product of it.
They are a product of it. They're an example of it. They are not the cause of it. They are the creation from it.
Yeah.
Which lets you know your government is fucked and needs to be fixed. And if they don't want to fucking go about it the legal way and let us fix it, well, then they give us no choice but to fight for it. Because, goddammit, this is ours, not theirs. They're our bitches, and they need to know that. And if it takes a motherfucking war to make them remember their position in life, then so fucking be it. Does anybody want war? No. No sane human being actually wants war. But if these assholes want to fucking piss on the turf and say it's theirs, well then I'm more than happy to shoot them in their dick. Fuck you.
Shoot them in their dick.
You know? I have no problem with Texas fucking standing its ground and basically saying, let's fucking go to war over this shit.
Yeah. So why is this okay for DC but not okay for Texas? In other words,
it's not. It's a double standard made by a hypocritical government that thinks that it has the right to rule over the people in an authoritarian, dictatorial manner. And that is repugnant to everything that this country was founded on. Thus, it violates all paperwork, every law, everything that was ever contractually decided by every state. This action against Texas involves all of us, every state.
Yep.
Because if they get to piss on Texas's border and say it's theirs, they get to tromp around and declare anything theirs and that they have the right to do anything they want. Do you really think that your state isn't next?
Yeah, so by the way,
they're not just going to look at what they're doing to the biggest state that we have. One of the states that basically pumps out the most soldiers to boot.
Hashtag Stand With Texas is trending, by the way.
Exactly. Because anybody who's smart sees the writing on the wall. Your state's next, and you're smaller than Texas. So if you don't help Texas fight now, then your state has no fucking chance. Not a goddamn chance. Unless you help Texas fight this fight. Because then they'll help you fight yours. In fact, you may not even have to fight yours because the federal government will take a nice bruised-ass ego and back the fuck off like they know they're supposed to. Because they know they don't have the manpower. They know they can't live without Texas money. They know they can't live without Texas soldiers. The federal government knows that Texas is one of their fucking big daddies. So, the federal government, if pushed, will have no choice but to back down, stick their tail between their legs, and go fuck themselves. Especially if the rest of us start to back up Texas. Because there's no way in hell they can fight us all. And they fucking know it. Because they know just how small the District of Columbia is. And they know they don't have shit for soldiers that are actually theirs. They're gonna be fucked. They know it. We know it. Anybody who's sane knows it. And if they want to fucking call a bluff, so goddamn be it. You don't fuck with a Texas poker player, bitch.
So I like this cartoon by Bronco. I'm saying the name correctly, I don't know. Texas Border Patrol. And Mayorkas is saying it's illegal to keep us from breaking the law, which is basically their argument.
Yep.
And so, the SCOTUS has got some explaining to do.
Which they're not going to because they don't have the balls to explain it. Just like when they fucking decided against Trump in the election. They didn't have the balls to explain themselves then either.
Yep.
Because they knew they were fucking wrong. They knew somebody. They knew that basically, we know now for damn sure that the Supreme Court is bought and paid for by Biden. By China. By whoever the fuck is the biggest fucking contributor at the moment. Or the scariest person.
Can you
The Supreme
elaborate on
Court
that?
in no fucking way is representing the people.
Yeah.
Because they just said Texas doesn't have the right to defend itself.
Or America.
America has no right to defend itself.
Yeah.
The federal government now owns it all. That is what they said. Oh no, we just said that we'll call a stalemate until we decide. No, because if you were doing that, you would have sided in the favor of Texas in the stalemate decision. But you decided in the favor of the interloper who's coming in and destroying private property of Texas. And violating Texas's citizens' right to safety.
Yeah.
That's who you voted against. That's who you sided against. So now, we all know that every decision that's put to you from this moment forward is most assuredly going to go against us and in favor of the federal government if it truly, completely, 100% affects the federal government and their ability to be authoritarian dictators and cheat us all out of our rights. We know that now. Thank you. We suspected it with Trump. We know it now. We fucking see you now. You can't get out of this now, which is why you have nothing to say for yourselves. And the moment you finally get the balls to actually say something, it's not gonna make sense. It's gonna be a half an answer, and it's gonna be a circular thought. Because you can't explain yourselves. There's no way in hell you can explain how Texas, on Texas property, with Texas property, has no right to defend Texas citizens. You can't make that make sense. There is no fucking way in a sane world where everybody isn't laced with opium and fucking sedatives that you can make that make sense.
Yeah.
Other than we were absolutely paid and or forced to fucking do that by the federal government. In which case, you don't matter to us. You don't. The only reason the Supreme Court fucking matters to us is because we allow them to matter. That's the only reason. They're not the gods of the land. Every state has its own Supreme Court. For a reason. Because when the federal Supreme Court decides that the federal government owns everything, your Supreme Court in your state, the one that really matters, gets to tell them to go fuck themselves with a razor dildo. And that's where we are now. One court that has the right to say, and one court that needs to fucking remember its place, have come to a decision to tell each other to go fuck themselves. I'm on the side of Texas court. Go fuck yourselves, federal government. Go fuck yourself, Supreme Court. You don't matter to us anymore. You have made yourself null and voided by this action. Fuck you.
Yep. So, these are unofficial sources, but let's check this out. As of 3 hours ago, they're saying that these are the states that stand with Texas. Of course, we're going to try to find a more official source, but that's a lot. Let's see here. What we got here? Texas Review. Yeah, we know that. Okay, this is from blue check mark for whatever that's worth. National Conservative. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds has just expressed support for Texas. Iowa has been added to the list. There's a list here. nationalconservative.com. More governors, and let's check that out. Stand with Texas, and there's also hashtag Stop the Invasion.
Yeah.
And what we got here is green, Texas governor defending the border. We got dark green, regular green or whatever. Governor expressed support for Texas governor. And then we got red, tell your governor. But this is out of date because I think more has signed up. But let's see here.
Yeah.
Out of date, out of time. We don't need that. And what do we got here? Okay.
Because, don't forget, babies, we don't need the federal government. We don't. We just decided it would be easier to all live under one fucking flag. We don't actually need them. We don't actually need to be one big group. We just don't. Especially if this shit is going to continue to happen and this shit is going to continue to be allowed because some of the people have to be assholes and want to manipulate everything and twist it into this fucking disgusting excuse of a fucking country where pedophiles run free. Excuse you?
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with this. It's
Yes.
human fucking trafficking, and that is not okay. That is not okay. That's not.
It's not what this country.
We have a responsibility to stop it.
Yeah.
We must stop it, and we must
We may not be able to stop it
make
all over the world,
examples
we
out
can-
of those who
Yeah.
are perpetrating it. We must strike fear into the hearts of those who might consider that centuries in the future.
Yep. Exactly. You need to send a real big example.
So, I don't know how old this article is today. More governors are showing support for Greg Abbott's supported defense. 15 governors so far. This is from National Conservative, but we have tweets here. We have Kay Ivey, who is from Alabama. She tweeted, Texas and the states have stepped up time and time again. The White House, ? Purposely absent. I've had enough. Texas, you can count on Alabama to have your back. Retweeting Governor Abbott's thing. What that? What?
About damn time,
About damn
Alabama.
time.
Wake the fuck up.
Arkansas. If President Biden won't defend us, the United States will. The states. Not the. Okay, let me read that again. If President Biden won't defend us, states will have to defend themselves. Arkansas stands with Texas. Retweeting Greg Abbott. Then we got what's his face here? The DeSantis. Why is he here? It doesn't really get. It's just there's a video there, but this Florida. Okay, I don't know. I think that's an ad or what is this? Let's see.
Biden is going after Texas, saying that they must remove fortifications from their border. They put wire, they put things to keep people out. Biden's saying you got to take that down to let people come in illegally, which is just crazy. And I remarked that if the Constitution was originally understood to mean that a state could not protect itself against an invasion, that the federal government could force a state to allow an invasion, the Constitution would have never been ratified in the first place. Texas would have never joined the Union when it did. And if you look at Federalist 46, which Daniel Horowitz pointed out, James Madison talks about situations where federal encroachment can be mitigated by state action. So you have Texas here that's holding its ground. They have every right to fortify the border vis-a-vis an invasion, and that's Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. So they're in the right. You also have a situation where liberal jurisdictions over many, many years have been sanctuary jurisdictions against enforcing federal immigration law. So you'll have somebody who's a criminal alien, they will not be given over to ICE, and they will deliberately act to frustrate the laws on the books, and somehow that's viewed as okay. You have Texas, who's acting to enforce the laws on the books, to ensure that they have a secure state and that we have a secure country. So all of this is just nonsense what Biden's doing. Texas has every right to stand its ground. We've in Florida, we've been sending people to help for many years now because we understand it's not just a Texas issue, it's ultimately an American issue. And if we don't have sovereignty in this country, then we're not going to be a country anymore. So they have every right to hold their ground, to stay the course, and Florida will continue to be there helping out every step of the way.
All right, so there you go.
I think all trust with the federal government has been broken for all time. It's just bullshit.
Well,
all
see-
they've done is manipulate every fucking word in every goddamn document with ratifications and, addendums and little notes and add-ons and this and that and little tails and skirts and fucking ribbons and bows and tape. They've added and added and added to the point where we literally pay them to have henchmen guard them all day so that they can break the law, commit crimes against citizens, and never get in trouble. They've literally manipulated everything so that we pay for them to get henchmen.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? What mitigation is necessary here? When they have fucked it up so royally that there isn't one bit of our legal system, one bit of our government fucking documentation, not a bit of it can be trusted. Because they've got a wormhole there. They got a little loophole, and they're gonna use it to fuck you and help them. That's what it all is now. Tell me when it's not that. Someone show me how it's not that. How every little bitty tiny thing hasn't been manipulated so that they can take, do, be, say, and get whatever they want. Show me, because I have yet to see it. In my 40 years of life, I have yet to fucking see the government act in the way that the founding fathers dictated it should. No, I've seen them manipulate, I've seen them change the rules, I've seen them flat out lie, I've seen them now use the highest court in the land to help them fucking lie and cheat and steal. I've seen it all. So there's no mitigation here. You can't talk your way out of this one. I don't think they should be allowed to talk their way out of it, go, oopsie, my bad, we'll try again later. Because that's all they're going to do. Do you really think if they back away from Texas now and they go, oh, our bad, in 30, 40 years, they're not going to try it again? Of course they are. Because you gave them an out, a get out of jail free card, a we're not going to chop heads card. Stop giving them that. They look forward to it. Stop being the better person. They're not going to be. So why should you? Why? Because Jesus in a book said so? That book was written by humans who lied. You know the Jesus that's the real one? Was the one who started breaking shit in the temple because there was a bunch of grifters in there fucking lying. Did he sound like he was turning the other cheek? Or was he ransacking the fucking tabernacle because it needed to happen? So I don't want to hear, oh, we need to mitigate. Fuck mitigation! This is bullshit! This is an act, a declaration of war against the American people and all of its citizens by the federal fucking government, not for the first time, but for the umpteenth time. Why should we be nice anymore? I don't get it. I don't get why we should be nice. It's bullshit. They're not learning. They're not gonna learn. This is like catching a kid sticking their hand in your purse, taking $20 out, and they do it every fucking day. And you keep taking their hand out of your purse and going, don't do that. And then they go, oh, I won't. And then the very next day they're doing it again. Why? Did you slap their hand? Did you bite their finger? Did you put a mousetrap in there? Did you even move the fucking purse? No, you changed nothing? What was to stop them from putting their hand in there again? So yes, they're doing this now, and if you stop them now with mitigation, they'll do it again in 40 years. Or 30, depends on how greedy and impatient they are. No, I don't think mitigation should be an option at this point. I think anybody who fucking signed a paper saying it was a good idea needs to be in prison for violating everything America stands for. Quite literally in violation of everything we've ever signed and agreed to. Treason. They should be brought up for fucking treason against the people of the country. Anything short of that is not acceptable mitigation to me. I want punishments. Actual ones. Not, well, they'll pay a fine and they can't have that position anymore. Not good enough. Where's their pain? Well, we'll send them to jail. No, because you're going to send them to the Ritz. Where's their pain? They need to be in a shitty, maximum security, federal penitentiary on a goddamn island surrounded by ice water. And that's me being nice. Really, I think they should probably be guillotined. And I'm not even French, but I agree with that one.
Well, there is law in the books, actually.
Good.
There really is a law in the United States books that says that For the high crime of treason, traitors could be jailed for life or worse. And I'm not going to say worse because, I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube right off of it. All right, so anyway, Brian Kemp from Georgia, governor, I think. Yeah, enough is enough. Our southern border is in crisis thanks to Biden administration's refusal to do their job. Greg Abbott of Texas and the state of Texas have our full support. Retweeting Governor Abbott's memo there. And there's Idaho. What happened to my mouse? Doesn't want to move anymore. Okay, Idaho. The lawless Brad Little from the governor of Idaho. The lawless southern border threatens the lives of all Americans, including Idahoans. Is that how you say that? Huh?
I have no idea.
Idaho is proud to support.
Idaho, that's all I know.
Idaho is proud to support Greg Abbott's and Texas' effort to secure the border, fight fentanyl, by the way, coming from China.
Yeah.
And combat human trafficking. Idaho will continue to step up, even when the president of the resident of the United States.
He's a cheater in charge.
Yeah. Then we got from Iowa, solidarity from Governor Kim Reynolds. When the federal government fails, states step in. Iowa sent the Iowa National Guard, yay, and state troopers down to the border last year to stop this invasion. Iowa stands with Texas. Okay, I hope you do it again this year.
For you, Iowa.
Yeah, we'll hopefully do it again. From Louisiana, we get this.
We support legal, not illegal immigration. We support secure and safe borders, not open border policies that allow criminals, human trafficking, and drugs to pour into this country. We stand with Governor Abbott and Texas in reminding the federal government that under our Constitution, states are still sovereign, and we have the right to protect our citizens.
And tell you to go fucking suck a chode, asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Biden. He's a fucking snot rag, not human. He's a used up old fucking snot rag that usually gets stuffed in a sleeve somewhere.
Yeah. By the way, let me check really quickly the chat.
I'm sure he has one in his sleeve.
Sorry, by the way, folks. Love that you guys are chatting. Keep chatting. Omega Rasetsu says, Justin Trouble Tabby, turn the other cheek doesn't mean what you think it means. It is actually an insult. Now, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Omega, but let me tell you something.
Turning the other cheek, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's an insult.
I don't know what you mean by that, but maybe you mean something about, okay, when I was very, very young, I was interested in the Bible and all that, and I had my own children's Bible with the pictures and all that, and I got to the part of the New Testament stuff, and I got to the part where Jesus says, what do you do if somebody slaps you across the cheek? I don't know. What? Turn the other cheek, he says. Now, I took that
as most people
as
think.
irony, as like, what do you mean? You hit him back. What are you going to do? Turn the other cheek? No, of course you're not going to turn the other cheek. That's what I took it as. But then I was told by quote-unquote authorities in the church that my mom dragged my ass to, that no, he meant turn the other cheek. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it's stupid. Because they didn't learn. Why wouldn't they just hit you on the other cheek?
Yeah.
You just gave it to them, like, here, hit it. Like, unless you're planning to beat the fuck out of that person if they touch the other cheek, it's an absurd action.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, if you're just, like, letting them have a second shot so that you can lay them out royally, then fine, whatever, class it up however you want. But if that's not what you mean, then it's absurd to turn the other cheek and wait for the hit, in my opinion. Which is how that Bible reference has always been put. To almost every kid and person I've ever met, turn the other cheek means, well, if they're mean to you or they do a bad thing, it's better for your own soul to not get angry at them, but to forgive them and turn the other cheek.
And I say that's bullshit.
And yeah, I agree, it's bullshit. Never sounded right to me when I was 5 years old, still didn't sound right. It could be seen as an insult that you think your enemy is so weak that you would turn the other cheek to them.
Yeah.
But again, that's where my first thing was, is that you know that you're going to beat the shit out of them if they touch it.
Yeah.
That's the insult, is you have the ability to beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it is an insult. if you're thinking it from that aspect, then yes.
Also, eye for an eye leaves the world blind, right?
True.
So if you're turning the other cheek, swap the cheeks out with eyes. You know, if they poke out one of your eyes, what do? You turn your head so they can poke the other eye.
Yeah, it's like, nah, I think if somebody's gonna attack you, you have the right to defend yourself, however that is. They shouldn't have attacked you.
Yep.
You're just defending your soul against the evil actions of another. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yep. Okay, so Montana weighs in. Governor Greg Abbott, Texas, doing what the President of the United States, or the resident, won't. By refusing to act, Resident Biden is inviting cartels, illegal drugs, and human trafficking into the United States.
Yep.
We must secure the southern border.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Yep. And then they retweeted this by Governor Greg Abbott of Texas. This is not over. Texas's razor wire is an effective deterrent to the illegal crossings Biden encourages. I will continue to defend Texas' constitutional authority to secure the border and prevent the Biden administration from destroying our property.
You know what I don't get?
Go ahead, baby.
You know
go
what
ahead.
I don't get?
What?
Is how Biden has the fucking gall to send millions of dollars and all of those weapons over to the Ukraine to stop Russia from invading their country, but Texas can't put up razor wire to stop our country from being invaded.
Right.
Razor wire. The cheapest, most effective way of keeping people from crossing over. You know why? Because that shit hurts. Especially when you don't know how to cross over it. There's a certain way you're supposed to touch it. It's really hard to remember, and you tend to get cut up. So yeah. What the fuck is that? You're gonna send tanks to Ukraine to keep Russia out of it? But we can't use razor wire to keep Mexico out of America? Go fuck yourself. There is no logic here. Logic has died and withered, and even the worms can't remember what it tasted like. It's dead. No. Bye. That's what I mean by absurd double standards. That is an absurd double standard because you know why? Ukraine helped him cheat too. You know how? Because Trump's team actually fucking found the signal from the voting machines going back to the Ukraine and then being shipped back over here through the airwaves. So don't even fuck with me. The only reason he's over there doing shit is because he's beholden to them too. Because they got dirt on him. Because he's not supposed to be in the position that he's in because they fucking cheated. The only logic in the room is the logic I just rolled into it. All the other shit makes no sense because it's shit. And every time you try to approach it and find where the logic originates, you hit a fucking wall of shit. Because that's where their logic originated, and that's why it's not logic, it's just a giant pile of grifty shit. And as a Barnum, I know what a grifty pile of shit looks like. Thank you.
As a Barnum, she knows.
Yes.
So, North Dakota stands with Texas. The governor there says, as the Biden administration fails miserably to secure the southern border, Americans and our communities are paying the price. Greg Abbott of Texas deserves our thanks for taking action to stop illegal crossing and disrupting drug and human trafficking.
He sacked up like an actual man. Thank God.
This man might be president in 2028, by the way, Greg Abbott.
I might vote for him. I don't know. I'd have to research him some more, but at least he's got the nuts to do the job.
Yeah. Governor Kevin Stitt, Oklahoma stands with Texas. That was the first state, by the way.
Well, good for you, Oklahoma.
To stand up. And let's see what they got here. This is from him. Oh, okay. We're going to go here. Oh, that's very loud. By the way, before before I play that, I want to show you this. This right here, this is film. Okay, this is footage after the Supreme Court says that the Texas National Guard can't stop the feds from removing this. Governor Abbott had said, you know what, go ahead and put more up. And that's them doing it here.
Yeah, like I said, I'd electrify it and not tell anybody.
Yeah.
I would just maybe not have anyone position at a certain section of the fence for a couple of days, let the U.S. soldiers come in and try and amount that could take down an elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, excessive high voltage. The kind that you can smell on approach.
Okay, now let's see what Oklahoma is the governor tweeted here. Back around. And just check it out. Anziz Ansari, or however he's okay.
Yep.
He proves. South Dakota. Greg Abbott is exactly right to invoke Texas's constitutional authority to defend itself. The Biden administration has created a national security crisis and put Americans in danger. Their failure is an unconstitutional dereliction of duty.
It's
South
treasonous.
Dakota, yes, it is. It's
treason.
treasonous.
They are cutting it and letting them in on purpose. That is treason. That is not dereliction.
Not only that, but
It's
they're
fucking
throwing
treason.
our taxpayer money at them.
Yeah.
They're putting them on buses.
Yeah.
They're taking schools away from
Yep.
children.
to house idiots that shouldn't be here because they're fucking idiots who decided to swim across the river instead of using the bridge.
Yes, no, the tweet was a little bit too long to fit in the article, so to read the whole thing. Biden administration has created a national security crisis, put Americans in danger. Their failure is an unconstitutional dereliction of duty. South Dakota has... What's that?
I was just mumbling to myself, same thing.
Yeah, South Dakota has been proud to help Governor Abbott's efforts to secure our border.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else we got? We got Governor Bill Lee, the federal government from Tennessee. The federal government's failure to secure our nation's southern border is jeopardizing the safety of all Americans. Tennessee has always stood with Texas, and we always will. Then we got from Utah. Governor there saying the border is a disaster that continues to spiral out of control, both in terms of people and deadly fentanyl traffic. This is not a partisan issue. This is a national security issue. This is a common sense issue. This is an American issue. And then he has more to say here, so let's click on this. Got to make that larger. Utah thanks Texas Governor Abbott for stepping up where the Biden administration has failed over and over again. All right, then we got Virginia. Virginia stands with Texas. Greg Abbott, Texas, doing a great job. Joe Biden and his border czar refused to do... Okay, let me read that. Greg Abbott is doing the job Joe Biden and his border czar refused to do to secure our border. The Biden administration has turned every state into a border state. It's true. Good point. We must stop the flow of fentanyl, save lives, and secure the southern border. All right. And now we got West Virginia. Jim Justice. We have a terrible crisis at the southern border. The Biden administration has turned every state into a border state. We must stop the flow of fentanyl, human trafficking, and criminal activity and secure our border. We support Greg Abbott, Texas, and the state of Texas. And that was hours ago, so there's probably a lot more to add to it. There's probably somewhere on Twitter, like a big list of all these that they keep adding to. But let me check the live stream here. Yeah. So, everybody, by the way, I'm losing my ability to speak. I hope you are all doing well today. How are you faring? And what is your opinion about this? Are you bloodlusty? Are you all for, hey, let's have another civil war? Fuck it. Let's. Hey,
I can't help it. I have Viking blood. All right, it's my culture.
I feel
it's part of my culture. Y'all shut up. No,
I feel it. I really don't. I mean, I feel it too. I'm the kind of person who both immediately wants to fight, and at the same time, there's that little Jiminy Cricket going, now, wait a minute.
No, I have that
Are
little
you
guy,
gonna
I told him
kick
to
this
shut the fuck
person's
up.
ass just because like something really horrible just happened to them, and like now all of a sudden you bumped into them and they're I don't know. I what I'm saying though is that yes, I do have bloodlust, and a lot of me just wants certain people to no longer have an effect in our elections. Just get these fucking people so that they're no longer influencing the laws that affect our lives. Some of these people want fucking reparations. And I don't know, I could go on and on. The disgusting things where they're not protecting children from pedos.
Yeah.
It goes on and on. And I just, but
The
then again, if
injustice
we separate off to another country, now all of a sudden we got this country where these children are not being protected from their horrible adults.
Yeah. It's like Justin and me are a yin yang. When I'm fucking fiery, he's calm. When he's fiery, I'm calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, usually, yeah.
It's usually the balance here. Yeah. Because we both
Yeah.
have our hot moments, and the other one needs to be the one to keep that one rational.
But in the immortal words of Lord Helmet from Spaceballs, evil will win because good is dumb. I thought it was good because good sucks. But anyway, either way, either way,
It's
good.
apt.
Oh God, that's my dog doing that. That was from Daniel.
Good would be better if it remembered that you can only stop evil by hitting it with a fucking stick. Not by talking to it, not by negotiating with it, not by wishing it away, or praying to a sky genie that it stops.
Yeah.
You gotta hit it with a fucking stick.
Yeah.
Then it stops, because you know why? Getting hit with a stick fucking hurts, and it sucks. No one likes that.
Now, how about this kind of situation? Because of the opinion polls that suggest this, the majority of Americans basically, it becomes a thing of basically almost all the state leadership, maybe maybe California won't sign on, basically going, no, federal government, this is not okay. No. Listen, we're going to either all secede or this can't be, and then, as a show of power, the federal government gives in one way or another, whatever has to happen, whether we have to get a new constitution, new declaration of independence, whatever, But I hope it's not battles. And I do hope that millions of motherfucking millennials and zennial pink hair people and other generations, not to just pick on those generations, but people who are just mindless NPCs who are just like, let them in, borders are bad, Marxism is good. I hope they cry about it. I hope they go through depression. I hope it hurts them for years and years and years. I still don't want to see bloodshed and battle Americans against Americans, though.
Hey, I'll agree for federal taxes to be used for aloe vera for all of their ass shave. I'll give you that much courtesy. Other than that, I'm laughing. This is funny.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not just gonna sit there and watch a battle. Yeah, I will join. If it comes to a civil war, I will fucking join. I don't care.
Yeah, if it comes down to it, it comes down to it. But
I don't fucking care.
But I don't think we should. I think we should try to avoid thinking in terms of like, oh, Americans against Americans, because I think there are forces that hate America that want us to think in those terms.
True.
And it's not really American people versus American people. It's American people versus these pretenders.
Yeah, it would be us against the federal government and any fucking soldier willing to fucking violate their sworn oath to uphold the Constitution and protect the citizenry of this country. Not the politicians, not the fat cats, and not just the wealthy, and for fuck sure, not illegal immigrants.
Right.
The citizens of this country. To uphold the Constitution and defend the citizens of this country. If you side as a soldier with the federal government in a civil war, you are dead to me. Sorry. You just are. You are an arm of the federal government. You are an automaton. You do not care about your oath. You never did. You only care about your paycheck. I don't fucking care.
So, Stephen Bishop, what do you beg to differ about? Well, let me read out your last comment before that. Good wises up pretty fast, then it gets pissed. Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah.
not sure what you're saying, but
No, I get it.
interested in
what
what
good people are good for too long, and then they finally wise up, but then they get very, very angry.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that part, but
Which
he
is
begs
true.
to differ to what was written right above that early recruit. Sympathy. I know. Anyway, I feel like playing. Let me see.
It's like, and everybody's thoughts are valid here. I'm just aggressive. You know me.
Yeah.
Approach with caution. I don't hide it. Yeah. There's like a fight in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm just become aware of this, and I'm here
Argumente.
like a fucking 13-year-old girl with my hand in my head in my hands and my ankles crossed, just like watching this. I have no idea what's going on. Somebody fill me in, because otherwise I gotta scroll all the way back up. Like, what happened here? The bitch in me has been perked. What? What happened?
I give you the mouse so you can scroll up and down. I messed up my song. So are you guys really argumenting? Are you guys really argumenting?
I have no.
Argumente.
I mean, be human, whatever.
Oh.
Humans fight, humans argue, we're just fucking giant hairless monkeys, alright? Just admit it, deal with it, and then all of this shit that looks weird and stupid suddenly makes sense. And it's funny. Like, literally, the Loki within you gets released. The moment you admit you're just a giant hairless monkey. Ape, monkey, same thing.
Steve says something to you. Precisely, Tabby.
So yeah, y'all work it out. I was just interested, thought somebody'd fill me in. I have no clue. I mean, the world goes around on good, honest disagreements. Otherwise, it would be really boring. I mean, hell, even cats disagree. Loudly. Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
How many
I see,
more times?
Well, it looks like everybody's happy here. All right.
Either way
Have fun,
you
guys.
wanna do.
Yeah. Everybody's happily, in this, so I ain't got no beef.
How many more times? I can sing and play the guitar too.
Well, you kind of are.
I have to stop.
Oh.
Wait,
Still sounds pretty.
what?
Still sounds pretty.
How many more times? Treat me the way you wanna do. When I give you all I got to give. Rings, pearls, and all.
You're making Donnie mosh pit to yourself.
Yeah, Dottie's our dog's mosh pitting right on the floor in front of me.
She'll slam herself into the ground and then just like do these weird happy rolls.
Oh yeah.
Are you mosh pitting the daddy? Good for you. It's a mosh pit.
How many more times? Treat me the way you wanna do. I had a child out of wedlock. I had 13, something about like. Now I got another child on the way that makes 11. I'm in constant heaven. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the lyrics. Something about how he's got children with all these women. Beep, beep, beep,
He wouldn't be the only one. There's a lot of people like
Oh, Rosie. Oh, girl. Oh, Rosie.
Oh, hi.
We got a phone call. I gotta stop. Got a phone call. See, my thing with the singing is
Okay.
I could sing in a lower key.
The 2819.
And I guess I could do a falsetto, but I just can't do that middle key, especially the mid-high. I can't do it. And I can't go from low to mid-high without voice cracking.
Perfect.
So
I'll
I
be
can't do
waiting to
Robert
see it.
Plant's range at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But
my
we got a
house.
phone call and might have to take some notes here. It's
No,
important
thank
medical
you.
stuff, though.
You drive safe now.
Discussing the federal government before betraying
Bye-bye.
people, isn't it? Yeah. So anything I gotta write down or what?
No, your meds are here. Or on their way.
Oh, okay.
She was just calling up ahead of time to let us know.
Oh, Rosie. Oh, girl. Oh, Rosie. Oh, girl. Steal away now. Steal away. Steal away. And where does it go down? Down, potato, right? Something like. call me the hunter. That's my name. Call me the hunter. That loves me, cause love's my only game. Ain't no use to run, babe.
I'm gonna go wait for the delivery.
Delivery what? Ain't no... what?
Your stuff. It's
Oh.
on its way right now. I'm gonna go wait for it so she doesn't drive past.
Oh. Ain't no use to hide, cause I got you. Cause I... Wait, how's it? Cause I... Wait. Cause I got... Cause I got... Cause I got you in the sights of my God. You know what I really want to learn is cat squiddle. Be-dee-dee-doo, be-dee-dee-doo. I knew it a few weeks ago, but then I had some seizures and I forgot. Anyway, guys, I really got to go because there's some stuff's going on and we got some deliveries and things and stuff like that. You know, it's a delivery of living raccoon. Like there's these raccoons that they graft onto crabs. Oh, it's so disgusting, but it really tastes good once you get over the skunk glands that they insert in the eye cavities. But I gotta go.